Hello, Catherine. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Malaysians on the Move. I've not recorded an episode for a few months now due to a
Mm-hmm.
few personal and professional commitments, but I finally have time and I'm so glad that I got connected to you because you're based in Japan and you'll be my first guest
Yes.
that is based in Japan. So, Catherine, take it away.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Kathrine. Yeah, nice to meet you, Yoshnee, and thanks for having me on your podcast. So I'm based in Japan, and I last time I also did some videos on YouTube. I mean, now I'm taking a break also. My YouTube channel is Cat Space, KATSPACE. So if you guys interested, you guys can have a look. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll get into what your YouTube is about. But I wanted to ask you to tell me a little bit about your upbringing and where you grew up in Malaysia and how you ended up in Japan.
Okay, and I'm from Ipoh, Malaysia. Yeah. So I had my primary school and then secondary school in Ipoh, and then I study music. I actually study music in UCSI in Kuala Lumpur. Yeah,
Okay.
and then yeah, and I learned basically I learned piano since I was young. Yeah, and then I kind of like towards the end of my high school, I kind of still have. I mean, I want to know more about music, like not only piano, like music and the history and everything. Yeah, that's why I decided to pursue a music study. And then after I graduated from UCSI, I worked in Singapore for like 3 years. Yeah, and then during that time, there's also the COVID and lockdown that time. I mean, I work in Singapore just for the money, to be honest. But
I
I
see.
know myself doesn't really fit into the Singapore society that much. Yeah, because I feel like it's quite similar to Malaysia.
Sorry, why do
Mm.
you say that you don't fit into the Singaporean society?
I don't think it's the Singapore problem, but I mean, in terms of the size of the country, yeah, it's really too small, too small. And I mean, Singapore is a city life, but I'm not a city girl. I
I
don't
see.
really like. I'm not fancy of like those like Instagrammable place, and I'm not. I don't like to shopping. Yeah, so I kind of more into nature, but yeah, not much nature in Singapore. So I remember whenever I have the off day when I have to go out, I always have to go to like Orchard or even I go to the nature place like Bukit Timah or something. There's always long queue, always. Yeah, so I find I didn't really enjoy it that much. And a part of that is just my colleague and my friends around me are all Malaysians too. So even though I'm in Singapore, it doesn't feel like I'm working abroad.
And
Yeah,
what did you work as in
yeah,
Singapore?
piano teacher, piano teacher.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and then during the COVID lockdown, everyone have to stay at home. That time I have some time to reflect on my life. And then I just realized that, oh, actually I have this small little dream that I want to live in Japan for a bit. So I used to be a very big anime fan. Yeah, since
Sure.
I was in primary school, yeah. And then after that I learned some Japanese. So just in case I travel here, I can just use very simple Japanese like arigatou gozaimasu とか. Yeah. So yeah, so and then that time I already learned Japanese for 2 years, and because there's that I don't have that environment, like reading and writing is fine, but the speaking is really
Speaking.
like yeah, like it's very hard for you to practice. So and then during lockdown I have time to reflect on myself, and then I was like, okay, how about I just move to Japan and put myself in the environment to really master this language. Not like master, but at least learn until certain extent that I wouldn't forget. Like it
Understood.
become yeah, it become one of the skill of my lifetime. That's why I decided to move to Japan. Yeah.
Wow. So you basically decided to move to Japan without worrying about like your career or, your work. You were just like, okay, I'll move there and I'll figure it out. That was your thinking.
It's more on like this, yeah. I do worry a little bit. So when I first moved here, I went to a language school. So I further study on my Japanese language first.
Got it.
So when I decided to move here, at first I thought I will not go back to a piano teacher because I just feel like if the people here want to learn piano, they can just find a Japanese teacher. Why they need
Right.
to find a foreigner who speak not good Japanese to learn the lessons? So I thought I want to use 1 year to reach from intermediate to the advanced, like a little bit
Understood.
close to native. So at the end of the few months of my 1 year stay here, I try to do job hunting, but unfortunately, it's not as easy as I thought.
I see.
Yeah, and in the end, I had to extend 6 more months for my study because it's just the reality thing is like if you cannot get a visa here, you will just further extend to extend your student visa. Then you use the
Understood.
time to still do the job hunting. But in the end, I find that there's some music academy here. So there are music academy that focus like provide music lessons to the foreigner here. So surprisingly,
Ah,
especially in Tokyo, there's actually a lot of foreigners that move here for work purpose. So maybe their family have to come here too. I mean, like the parents move here from their own country, so their kids born and grow here. Yeah, they went to international school instead of the Japanese school. So anyway, there's this group of foreigner in Tokyo. So yeah, so when they want to learn piano lesson or violin lesson, they couldn't really do it in Japanese. So that's where I come in, and so I realized, oh, that's so cool. There's this bug that I never thought of, and yeah. So in the end, I got this advantage. Yeah.
how did you find this out? Was it just in the first year that you were there in Tokyo?
So yeah, I think I just come across from like those kind of like job hunting web page. So I started as a part timer first, and then yeah, luckily I managed to work as a full time now.
It's very inspirational to see that you were just willing to take a
Mm,
chance, like you're willing to
mm,
be patient and put yourself out there, and you just focus on
mm,
mastering the language, and you're like, okay, whatever comes with the job, I'll do part-time for now. And you just kind of
mm.
work your way to it. That's really good that you did that.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
to ask, when you first moved to Japan
Mm,
and you said that you're a really huge fan of anime from growing up, do you
mm.
feel like when you got there and you started, your first month there, your second month there, moving here was like the best thing ever? Is that how you felt?
Oh, not the first few months to be honest. Reality issue hit up because first of all, especially when you go to the city hall and all the government stuff, everything is in
Mm.
Japanese. I mean, I can understand Chinese, so I can somehow read it, but I mean, but it's still not easy because you don't know how they work. So in Japan, you move in to a house, you have to go to the city hall and register, and then you have to manage what this kind of tax, and then your what national, the health insurance, a lot of stuff that is very different than Malaysia, because Malaysia we don't really have to go to the government place that often, only license and IC lah, maybe
Yeah.
passport around that, right? And then other than that, everything maybe you can do online, but in Japan no. And then they always like to send you letter informing, oh, this is your health insurance. Oh, this is your this one. This is your this one. This is your this one. Oh, even opening bank account is such a disaster here. It's not foreigner friendly. Yeah,
Finding an apartment to live in?
they call it social residence here. So now
Oh,
I'm currently in my second social residence, but when I just moved here, my first social residence there's like 120 rooms. It feels like dormitory lah. Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
but then they have a common space like kitchen, the lounge, the gym room, the theater room, so for people to just come together and social.
Okay, okay. And a lot of the people living in this social residence are foreigners?
I would say half half. It's not entirely foreigner. Yeah, because you can actually look at the nationality from their website before you move in. So I purposely look for the one that's more variety one.
Right,
Yeah.
because if there's
Mm.
Japanese people living there and you can meet them at the lounge, then you can
Yeah,
practice speaking
yes,
Japanese with
that's
them.
my goal in at first, and also luckily I met them. So when I received those letter and when I need help, so they can always provide me help. So I do recommend to those who first come here, and if you feel insecure to just live by your own in a unknown country, maybe social residence is is the first thing that is easier to start out with. Yeah.
And so after a few months, when you started to settle in and
Mm,
you got better at Japanese, and
mm.
then eventually you started teaching piano again, how did you feel about your living in Japan, your lifestyle? Like,
I mean, now it's my fourth year. Now I was like, yes, that's 100% yes. No regret at all. The best decision I made. Last time, I don't think I feel that. I mean, I'm satisfied with it too. I think, especially the first year. Every time when you're entering a new season, everything is so new. Because especially the season thing is so different than Malaysia. Like, oh,
yes.
when, for example, summer, there's this carcasta, a kind of insect.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, but you have this summer vibe and summer sound. Yeah, like you say, oh, it's really something from anime. So when they move to autumn, oh my god, the tree, they change to the autumn leaf, also nice. And then winter, and then the spring. Yeah, so everything is quite new to me. Yeah, and I do really enjoy it. Yeah. But I realized
Yeah.
the second year when I look back the autumn leaf, look back the sakura, it's not as excited as the first year. Oh my god,
Yes.
the first year is so precious. Yeah.
Very, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I ask, how did you make new friends in Japan besides,
Mm.
from people that you met in your social residence?
Mm-mm.
How else did you meet new friends?
So yeah, social resident first, it helped a lot. And when I first came here, I went to a language school, right? So language school is, yeah, you can make a lot of friends there, and most of them are foreigner friend, which is very good because I mean I like to connect with people that's different culture than me lah.
Yeah.
And then me myself, I have some hobby like I do like to do badminton, and recent year, like I think starting from last year, I do more like hiking, camping, snowboarding. But I think at
Wow.
first I do badminton first. So I use the app called Meetup. Do you know Meetup? I
Yes,
don't know, is it
yes.
is it a thing in the US?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So Meetup. So yeah, I think most of it is friends of friends, friends of friends. Mm,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
and you do find that it's very easy to be a part of a community, right? Because that part of like our Asian culture is very
Mm.
communal. So,
Oh, I don't think so. Because I feel like met a lot of people, they are pretty isolated in Japan. So
no
Japan life
way.
is really hard to. Okay, first I think it come back to the personality first. So I'm like more a little bit extrovert and outgoing. So and
Sure.
I will take initiative to participate in some event. And also most important, I think I also take the effort to learn the language. So the thing is when you learn Japanese, you are not only learning the language, you have to learn the culture and what kind of
Mm.
setting you use this language. For example, people say sumimasen, right? You cannot say you cannot just say like sumimasen with that kind of, I don't know how to say, foreigner attitude. But if you see how Japanese says sumimasen, they usually say oh sumimasen, and then the head will bow for a little bit. So this is all the attitude or like the tone you have to. I mean,
I
you
see.
will learn together when you learn a language. Yeah. So because I take the effort to learn Japanese, of course I can dive in with the Japanese a little bit. But here I met a lot of friends that they maybe come here because of working purpose, so they don't really speak Japanese. If they don't speak Japanese, they're already. I mean, they're already. It's very hard for them to dive into the society already. If you ask if easy or not, I think it's not easy.
It's
For me,
not
it's okay.
easy.
But I realize a lot of people it's not easy for them. So that's why
Mm.
actually I also make a Malaysian community here in Japan. I don't know, have
Okay.
you? Yeah, it's called Anak in Nihon. Anak is
And
like Anak.
child.
Anak is, yeah, Malay,
Child.
right? And then in
Yes.
Nihon. Nihon is Japan in Japanese.
Oh, Nihon. I always thought it was Nippon.
There's two way to pronounce it, Nihon or Nippon.
Oh,
So I actually started it last year January, because I teach piano freelance. So I realized, oh, in the morning I have some time, I have some free time. Let me just try to build this community. The reason I start to build this community, I mean, okay, for myself, yes, sometimes I do want to connect with Malaysian also because I can speak Mandarin, I can speak English, but I want to speak in the Malaysian English and Malaysian Chinese. Our Malaysian Chinese is still very different than the proper Chinese from the China or
Understood.
Taiwan. It's very different. Yeah, so that's why I was like, oh, I want to make a community which we really connect each other together.
That's
Mm.
awesome. So, do you plan activities to do as a group?
Yeah, yeah. So I started last year January until now it's like almost 2 years. So I mostly do everything by myself. Yeah. Sometimes just online meetup, sometimes just offline meetup. But usually the skill are pretty chill, like ten people. The biggest event I made is only like Merdeka event, which
Yeah.
up to 30 persons. And then Merdeka event, this year I also host like Chinese New Year, Deepawali, Hari Raya, these are all the very basic one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then sometimes I also do badminton meetup, hiking meetup, this and that. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's really really cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah. It's not
see.
easy.
Yeah, I actually was recently in Japan with my husband and a few friends.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and you were talking about the meetups, and I suddenly like had a question come to my mind. Like the whole
Mm.
time we were there, I didn't see any Malaysian restaurants. Are there any Malaysian
Oh,
restaurants?
there is. Oh my God, there is. I
Oh,
mean, my Malaysian community, I actually make a list on Google Map, like all the Malaysian in the whole Japan. I compiled
okay.
it and put it on the Google Map. Okay,
I
yeah.
see. Okay. Now I do have one well, it's not a controversial question, but I guess it might
Mm-hmm.
be a little I'm probing a little bit. But I guess when you were growing up and you were in high school and all in Ipoh and you was very much into music, you said you learned piano since you were young. Did you feel that if I'm going to study music, then in Malaysia, there's no future to really like make a lot of money? Or like, did you
Mhm.
feel those kind of thoughts or not really?
I mean, when I decided to choose to study music in university, I do receive some voice around that, oh,
Oh,
are you sure you want to study music? Like, okay, because when I decided to study music that time, okay, if you want to teach piano, how about you just study until grade 8 and then finish the diploma, usually you are eligible to teach already. So and then I received some voices like, why do you need to spend, because it's not cheap though to study music, like why do you have
right.
to spend to study in the university if you end up you still want to just teach piano, right? I mean, at that time I know that I it's not like I just want to know piano, I want to know the whole thing, other instruments, the band, maybe
Yeah.
arrangement, this and that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't think that much. I was like, let's do it first and see how. But to be honest, after I went to the university, I was shocked too because I didn't know that, oh, music have so many things to learn. Like,
Right.
choir, history, like ear training, literature if you want to. And the funny thing is like if you learn about how this music, like what's the period they come in,
Yeah.
a lot of the history related to the history and the world perspective too. Like you know what happened in the, I don't know, America last time, Europe last time. So I feel like it opened up your
Your worldview, because
perspective.
it's
Like,
like,
yeah,
oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
what was Mozart like? What was the time that
Yeah,
Mozart
yeah,
was
yeah.
living in? Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
something like that. And because especially because I study like contemporary music, like jazz music, but I
Oh,
grew up
okay.
studying classical. So the
Yes.
transition between classical to jazz music is also there's a history there lah, like the white Americans and then black Americans, this and that. Yeah. Yeah. A little bit
Yeah.
far, but this is one of the thing. And also after I went to university, only I know that there's so many job you can work as. You can work as a audio engineering, you can work as a what instructor, you can work as a, for example, have you thought of the piano, who gonna fix the piano? Right,
Yeah.
that's also one
Right.
kind of job. Who gonna
Right.
invent a instrument and then test it out? Everything you need the musicians like music
Yeah.
knowledge. And then doing the score out, the when you watch a movie, when you even listen to the advertisement, there's always a music behind. So people
Yeah.
doesn't really know all these things, but the music is always infused in our world. And also,
Yes.
if you do live performance, you can also work as the stage crew, the audio one. So I mean, actually, there's a lot of job you can do. Mm.
Yes, very, very well said. And now,
Yeah.
when you teach piano, do you come up with your own kind of syllabus, or do you teach ABRSM or Royal School of Music? I
It
forgot what was
depends.
the other one. There was another one from
Trinity.
England. Ah, okay.
Trinity. No, ABRSM is from England. Trinity is from the States,
Okay.
US. Yeah. First, it depends on the parents. If the parents want me to, if the parents want the kids to go for exam, yeah, then maybe I'll do ABRSM. If it's not, I don't have my own syllabus, but I know which book to use, so I recommend to the parents, to the kids, and then apart from learning from the book only, I will infuse with some game, like rhythmic playing, coloring, this and
Oh,
that. Yeah, just try to make the lesson fun. Yeah.
that's really cool. Okay, okay. So for those kids that want to do exams, or the parents want them to do the exams, then
Mm,
you just go back to the like ABRSM or whatever
yeah.
that's already out there. Okay.
Yeah, but still you have to think way to make it more interesting lah. Not only like play, 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 repeat, repeat, repeat. Yeah. So
Yeah,
now
no,
I think because
that was my upbringing. That my
me too,
teachers
me too,
like
me
play,
too.
play, play. No, yeah,
Yeah,
it
I mean
was
me
yeah.
too. Yeah, because I mean luckily I went to university, so that's why even now when they learn a new piece, I will ask them like, oh, do you know why this composer do this piece, especially honestly now there's AI, right? So I asked them to just look up from AI and tell me the story about this piece, and then who is Mozart, who is Chopin, why this piece
Right.
is invented, and then a part of only playing the whole piece, I will ask them to analyze like, oh, can you tell me why they use this chord? There's a lot of things because you
Oh,
learn from university, you know more. Yeah, you really know more knowledge. Yeah,
I
yeah.
see. Very cool,
Mm.
very cool. Okay. Yeah, thanks a lot for sharing your story, and also specifically about piano. It really brings me back to my old days as well.
Yeah.
You did talk about that earlier when we started, that you grew up in a small town. So I wanted to
Mm.
ask you how it is like living in, and you talked about how Singapore is like very city, but hey,
Mm.
Tokyo is like a city like
Yeah,
no
I
other.
know. I
So how do
know.
you feel about that?
Okay. Even though Tokyo is a city, Tokyo itself, so Tokyo also have like other like uh I mean there's other city something like that like inside the Tokyo, right?
Yeah, like
Tokyo, yeah, something
Yokohama.
like that. Yeah, that's like
Okay,
prefecture and whatever. But
I
Tokyo
see.
itself is already the same size as Singapore. So of course you can imagine I still can do much more thing in Tokyo. So I mean it's still better than Singapore because when you step it out, it's still Japan. The things
Yes.
is still different. The culture is still different. But I also realize yeah, Tokyo is still not too much to me, like city life. So yeah, I think in the future I will move to a little bit more countryside of Japan. So even now I live in like actually I live in Kanagawa. It's outskirt of
Oh,
Tokyo.
Kanagawa. Right.
Yeah, near
Okay.
between Yokohama and Tokyo. Even though I like live in near to Tokyo, I don't really go to the city that much though. I feel
Understood. Understood.
yeah.
So, yeah, I usually like to end the podcast by asking the golden question, which is,
Okay.
do you ever see yourself moving back to Malaysia someday?
Uh, okay. This is a very hard question for me as now. So I would say I don't know, but most probably no. So now I'm
Okay.
29 years old and I'm single, so I don't really have any commitment as for now. So I'm enjoying my life now. So I think if I have to consider these questions, most likely if I meet a partner and then I will see how going there. But I think if I were to move back to Malaysia, it's really a very like when I almost retire.
I
Then I
see.
will move back. Yeah, but okay. To be fair, compared to Japan and Malaysia, I do think Malaysia is very good too.
Okay.
Uh, I feel like I mean, okay, people say Malaysia is not safe, but I think at some point it's still safe as long as you know the survival skill. Don't put your phone and your wallet out there and this and that. It's still okay,
Yeah.
and I mean, our food are nice, things are cheap. The thing is, we are like different cultural, but we can live harmony. Japan, not everywhere, but Japan a little bit the people here are a little bit cold than Malaysian. Every time
Yeah.
when I meet Malaysian here, they are so friendly. They are happy. But to me, myself personally, I think I'm the kind of person who really like to expose to new culture.
Mm.
So Japan is very big. Every
Yeah.
state they have different culture, different I mean people and vibe. So I think I really need to spend very many years to explore the whole Japan. And then Malaysia is like I mean I'm used to it. I'm familiar with it. That's why if I go back, I feel like it's a bit boring to myself for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So in terms of living, maybe as for now, Japan. Yeah, that's what I
That
think.
makes sense. And you've
Yeah.
invested a lot in, mastering the language to a certain degree.
Mm-mm. I actually don't limit myself only in Japan. If I have chance, I want to go to other country too.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
because
Okay.
because now I only live in, I mean Malaysia, Singapore, and Japan, and I haven't really traveled to Europe or the West countries, so I never explore myself. So
I
I mean,
see.
as far as I live in Japan the fourth year, I do see the good side and the bad side of Japan. Same as Singapore, same as Malaysia. So every country have their good and bad. I'm
Yeah.
still weighing the balance about the pros and cons living in Japan, but I want to give myself a chance to expose other countries first and see, oh, maybe, oh, this is the country that actually fit me best. So
Yeah.
yeah, still
That
a
makes
very
sense.
far questions. Yeah.
Yeah. No, 100% because you're still
Mm.
young and like you have like your whole life ahead of you to,
Yeah, I mean,
explore and figure out things.
when you haven't got any commitment, yeah, just try out new stuff first. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess as a last closing thought, if you could
Mm,
share to the people listening any advice that you have about taking the chance and just
mm.
moving abroad.
It's very interesting. As far as I met so many people, I want to say like, let's say if you are working or living in a current country and you realize your everyday life is like not fun, not exciting, it's a little bit depressed, like, oh, I just only go to work and go back. For example, a
Mhm.
lot of Malaysian work in Singapore, but maybe they don't enjoy the life in Singapore as much, but they just do go there and just earn money, right?
Yeah.
But I realized that, for example, if I'm a Malaysian, I born in Malaysia, and if you realize you doesn't really fit into the society, you always have the choice to explore other countries. I feel like there's this mindset that a lot of people doesn't realize. They thought, oh, I born here, I work here. I mean, how can I just give up everything to move abroad? Okay, of course, at some point it's difficult, but let's say if you are single and no commitment, you have some money, there's always a choice to try to move to other country. So before I moved to Japan, I know I doesn't really enjoy my life in Singapore. But
Mm.
after I moved in Japan, I realized, oh, this is something that I like look for. If I don't move here, I didn't know that I like the nature stuff so much. I like to meet all these kind of people from other countries that much. And this is something that I lack of when I was in Singapore and Malaysia. So really give yourself a chance to step out and try to go to other country. Yeah, instead of just stuck in the own country and complaining about my job every day are so boring. I want to look for a partner. I can look for a partner. Oh, I also realized honestly, I think at some point I don't think my character fit very well in Malaysian society. I mean, I'm like more open and like to expose to new culture. So I feel like if I look back now, it's not 100%, but I also feel like it's a little bit hard to find my ideal partner in Malaysia.
I see. I see.
Yeah, this is something I want to say. Like, yeah, sometimes it's fun. You feel like it's hard to find your ideal partners there, but maybe because you have to think about what kind of person you are, and you have to go to a place that suit you to expose to the correct person, correct people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really insightful point, really. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. But
But
again, if it's like if I never take this choice to step out, I never realize I like this is something that I want. So yeah, the stepping out is really important. Mm.
yeah. Yeah. Catherine, thanks so much for your time and for sharing your story on Malaysians on the Move. Do you want to plug in your social media, your YouTube, before saying bye?
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Yoshnee, for the time today. Yeah. So if for the listener, if you are interested in my story, I do make some videos on YouTube. I'm having a break for a few months, but basically my video is about my life in Japan, and sometimes I just share some tips about the life living in Japan. Yeah, so you guys can check it out. It's the same as just now, Cat Space, KATSPACE. And from there, I also have my Instagram, but I doesn't post too much on Instagram nowadays also. But feel free to email is a bit like DM me or just comments if you want to connect with me. Yeah.
Yes, yes. All the links to your social media will be in the episode description.
Hmm.
Once again, Catherine, thank you so much, and I'll stay in touch. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye bye.